Today we're going to talk about everything I wish I knew before I started playing the game of Upland. This is your ultimate guide on how to play the game of Upland. I started playing Upland in November of 2020, and then I started making these educational YouTube videos about Upland in June of 2021. I'm excited to share with you some of the things I've learned along the way. At its core, Upland is a mobile property trading game where you buy and sell properties to try to increase your net worth and make real money playing this game. So I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to be successful playing the game of Upland. In Upland, you have a character called a block explorer, and if you click the button in the bottom left of the screen, this chess piece looking button, it will take you and zoom in on your block explorer. This is your character. This is your avatar, if you will. You'll notice each block explorer has a rank, this one CE, and also all these different chips stacked up for all the different collections that that block explorer has collected. We'll talk more about those later in the video. So here we are in Las Vegas, and let's zoom into the map and discuss what the different things are that you're seeing. So all of these little squares are properties that people own or can still be purchased from the game. So the different colors, let's first discuss that. These gray ones, nobody currently owns these. Anybody in the game can currently mint this property and be the first unique owner of that property. Second, you'll notice these light blue properties. These are properties that someone has purchased. You'll see Iron Rick has purchased this one here in Las Vegas, and he is the single owner of that property. You can even actually click the street view to see a Google Maps view of that property in the real world. You'll also notice some dark green properties, and these are properties that are currently for sale. So a player has purchased this property and is now listing it for sale. You can see the sell price right there. So you can see this property you can currently purchase for 13,000 UPX. Once you've personally purchased a property, they turn dark blue. So you can see these dark blue ones are ones that I have purchased. And you can even click and see the title. So you can see how much you paid for it. And you can see the size. You can also see that here. The purchase price and the size. UP2 or up squared is the square footage essentially of that property. You'll also notice the monthly earnings that you'll earn on that property. So this is how many UPX just owning that property will pay you every month. Next, let's talk about these FSA properties that you'll see. FSA stands for Fair Start Act. That allows new players to get a fair start in the game. And this is a very advantageous way to start. Buying FSA properties allows you to get properties most of the time cheaper than any other player who isn't a beginner can get properties. You can get properties for cheaper, and therefore you can flip them or sell them more easily, and you can make usually a higher return from buying and selling FSA properties. So what's the catch? New players who have a net worth of less than 100,000 UPX. So if you go to get UPX, that is $99 or $100 worth of UPX. So if you buy $100 worth and you get 100,000 UPX, you can no longer buy FSA properties. So this is one of the biggest mistakes I made when I started playing the game of Upland. I did not use a referral code. A referral code allows you to get 50% more on your initial investment in Upland. So when you buy UPX, the best way we suggest starting, again, you do not want to go over 100,000 UPX net worth. And if you use a referral code when you buy UPX, it's going to give you 1.5x the amount that you buy. So the best strategy you can do is buy 50,000 UPX for $50, and then the game will give you $75 worth or 75,000 UPX. And then with all of that, you can start buying FSA properties, 75,000 UPX worth, plus the game will already give you 5,000 UPX or so for free. So then you have about 80,000 UPX. And there you have it. If you wanted to, you could even put in like another $10 to get to around 90,000 UPX, and then buy all FSA properties with that, and then flip those properties for a great profit. That is one of the best ways you can start, and that's one of the biggest mistakes I made when I started, is I did not take advantage of FSA properties and using a referral code. The next thing I would highly recommend is to do your own research when you go to buy properties. One of the best tools I like to use is upxland.me. And you got to remember, property prices are always changing, and new cities are always being released. So it's important to do your research at the time you're ready to start buying properties. So I'm going to go to this property search page, and I know one of the recent cities that was released is Detroit. So let's see what's available for FSA players in Detroit. So first we want to select the city, and then we want to do unlocked. Unlocked means nobody has minted that property. So those are the best ones if you're looking for an unminted FSA property. That's what you want. So do unlocked, and then do only FSA, and then sort by mint price ascending. So we're going to see the cheapest properties that are available in Detroit for that you can go mint right now. Look at these prices. You can go buy properties right now as an FSA player in Detroit for only 2,673 UPX. You can immediately sell these for more than you paid for them. This is a great starting strategy. You can also check out other cities. So maybe go around, look around for other cities. A lot of other cities are sold out. Let's see if Queens has any available. There you go. Queens has some available as well. You can see they're a little bit more expensive in Queens, but maybe you think Queens will be more valuable down the road. So there you have it. I mean, that is one of the best ways to do your research. I really hope this tool helps you out here. So next, let's talk about the difference between minting properties from the game and then buying properties on the secondary market. So this is a video I recently recorded where I was minting properties in Rio de Janeiro, and you'll see your block explorer has to be next to one of these gray properties, and then they will turn lime green. You actually have to send your block explorer in that area first. So this is really important to understand. So watch. I click this property.
Big boys, let's get it.
And then I click send. I go to that property. Click buy. And there you go. It turns lime green, and once it's lime green, when your block explorer is next to it, that's when you can actually buy and own that property. So then it turns blue. So, like I said, with minting, your block explorer has to be right next to the property you want to buy. The nice thing is when you're buying properties on the secondary market from other players, currently I'm right now in Rio de Janeiro, but the nice thing is I could go to Las Vegas and I could buy any of these dark green properties that are currently for sale. I don't have to be next to it. I could buy this one right now for $15 if I wanted to. And while we're on this topic, let's talk about one of my favorite strategies I like to do when I'm looking to buy property in a new city. I like to try to find one of the lowest cost properties I can find. So if you click this button in the bottom right, this building button right here, and it's going to show you what your view currently is looking at. So you'll notice if I zoom in this far on the map, and then I click this button, it's gonna show you just what that view can see. So if I zoom in really close here and I click right here, look, the cheapest one that's available is 10,490 UPX. But as soon as I zoom out on the whole city, you can see, okay, I can get one for only $5.30. So a lot of times this is a strategy I will use where I'll zoom out on the whole map, click that building button, and then go buy the cheapest property I can find. Look at all of these great deals. They're really low price properties. So that is a great way to, when you're looking to buy properties on the secondary market, maybe there's no properties that are still available in that city and you want to invest in some of those properties. That is one of the best ways to find the cheapest properties in that city. So one of the first things I do every time I turn on Upland and I start playing is I click this pin drop button in the bottom right, which will show you the city borders. This is important so you can actually see all the different cities. Maybe you'll know some of them are in collections, and this will help you just see what is currently you can buy, and obviously what's outside the borders doesn't currently contain properties that you can buy. So always just turn that on, and it helps to actually see what's available. So next, let's talk about sends. You saw that sends are important when you're trying to mint a new property from the game. Remember, you have to send to a property so your block explorer can be close to it, so you can actually, and then it will turn lime green, then you can mint that property. How do you get more sends? You only normally have 11 sends stacked up at a time. So these little paper airplanes will appear on the map, and you can see that each property, the owner sets a send fee. So you can see this one is 20 UPX. Most of these might be set to 20 UPX, but a lot of times people will change their send fee. So it's important to click around. Look, that one's 50 UPX. So you could waste a lot more money sending to properties that cost more. So that player's charging 50 UPX for you to send to their property. But look, I can go up here. I can click this one. I can send to this property. It says I have 11 sends left. Confirm. Okay, let's send over there. And now that I'm there, I can actually collect this paper airplane. Boom, and I get more sends. Sometimes you can get 5 or even 6 sends from a single airplane. So be on the lookout for those and make sure you don't run out of sends. However, if you do run all the way out of sends, you have no more sends left. The nice thing is the next day, the game will give you 3 more sends, and then you can look for some of those paper airplanes to get more sends. There is one more thing that's important to know, though. You can still send to your own dark blue properties, so the properties you own, even if you're out of sends, you can send to that property. So look, that will not use one of your sends, and it also doesn't cost anything. And so there you go. That really helps. The nice thing is too, is if you're trying to get to a send from a property, you can keep sending back to a property and it will change the trajectory that your block explorer moves on. It's random what direction they will go. So let's say there's a paper airplane up here and it won't let me click it because I'm not close enough to it. You'll see if I click this one, your block explorer needs to be closer to it. So you need to be in pretty close range so you can try to keep sending on your own property that you own. Hopefully it changes the direction, and hopefully you'll start going in the direction to get that send. So that's kind of a fun little way that you can manipulate the way your block explorer moves to find and get more sends if you run out. But try to watch those, and it's best if you just don't run out. So you can always send to another one of these paper airplanes to get more sends. And lastly, one of the most fun parts about Upland is going for collections. We talked about collections at the beginning when we were looking at block explorers. Open up the menu and click the collections button. So collections are kind of like Monopoly. When you get multiple properties of certain criteria, for example, this one owned 3 properties in the Douglaston neighborhood in Queens, you can then fill this collection, and you can see here I haven't filled the Long Island City collection yet. You get a one-time reward. So this is how you get bonuses. So be really smart about which properties you buy and try to get some that are in collections so that you can get that one-time reward. Not only do you get that one-time reward, but remember we were looking at the properties that you own and they pay you an amount of UPX every month. When you put them in a collection and you have a collection that's currently active, meaning all 3 are full, if it's 3, sometimes it's 2 or even 4. If it's full and it's active, you're getting the boost. So each property in Upland pays you about 15% interest for owning that property. of the mint price of that property. If you buy it on the secondary market, you need to make sure it's a lower mint price that they paid for it. Use that UPX land tool I was talking about so you can actually see the mint price if you want to buy them on the secondary market, and then you can get a boost. So I love focusing on boost. One of my favorite properties that I own is actually in Fresno, and you'll see that I got this in the Old Town Gems collection. So instead of just earning 15% interest annually on these properties, I'm earning 15% times by 2.7x. So I'm earning close to 40% interest annually on that property. And it's only on the ones that are active. So you'll see I went big and bought a really expensive property here. I paid 12 million UPX. So this property here would normally earn only about 160,000 UPX a month, but because I have it active in that collection, it's earning almost 400,000 UPX a month, which is pretty much $400 a month. So there's so many more tips and tricks that I would love to share with you. These are some of the ones that I think are really important for beginners to know as they get started in Upland. That was the point of this video. However, I am going to share at the end of the video a link to a playlist where I link all of my favorite tips and tricks. So you can go, and if you want to learn more, keep watching my tips and tricks playlist for many more tips like this that will help you get better at Upland and help you make more money, and also just help you enjoy your experience. There's so much more to learn. We just scratched the surface today. Please also don't be scared to leave a comment below with any questions that you have, and I love answering, getting back to a lot of those questions, and sometimes even make videos responding to really good questions that I get. Please also leave a like if this video was helpful to you, and please share it with a friend if you're introducing other friends to Upland. I think this is a really good video that just kind of gives a brief overview of how to play, how to be successful, and how to get started in Upland. Thank you. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out. I hope that last video was really helpful for you. Hope you enjoyed. Please watch either of these two videos or click subscribe right here if you click the logo right there. If you want to support the channel further, hit the join button next to the subscribe button and you can support us. You also get a cool astronaut next to your name.